I didn't pay my Google fee. Hey, look, it's working. What's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler, episode number 271. We have no topic today. We're just here to BS for a half an hour. So what's up, guys? How's it going?
What else is new?
Right. Say's trying to figure out how to use the internet as usual, and she's working her way into getting on.
She went out back to turn the crank.
Exactly. Let's go around this very small room real quick, get everyone introduced. George, what's going on?
Hi, I am George Stefanis. I work on Jetpack by day at Automatic. I get to build shiny things, and I am very much looking forward to my 3-month sabbatical I get this summer of June, July, and August. I get to get 3 months paid off to just stop my brain dying horribly from burning out. That's pretty cool.
Nice. You're looking forward to that, man. I can tell.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna like hide in a cabin in the woods with no internet and just say like, heck with y'all. Leave me alone. Apocalypse can come. Just stay away.
Nice. George, what about you, Jason? Tell us about yourself.
I'm Jason Cosper. I am the senior performance engineer over at Liquid Web, and just happy to be BSing with y'all today.
Nice, man. Good to have you on. Steve, what about you, man?
I'm Steve Zengen. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup.
Awesome, man. You guys have been doing some cool stuff over there lately.
We have?
Yeah, you have.
We have. Yes, that wasn't a question. We have.
No, just the fact that you're doing the whole business track thing, and it happens on the same night that my meetup happens. And it's funny because I've had people come into my meetup and say, I'm so sorry I didn't go last week or last month. I went over to Steve's meetup, and I was like, you know what, dude? Steve knows how to run business. You should definitely go over there and listen to Steve and talk about this stuff. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
so much judgment.
Say, how about you?
Hey, I'm Say, and the internet finally let me come on in.
New internet. I mean, yay.
Are we in introductions? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
My name's Say Reed. I make WordPress, teach WordPress, preach WordPress. Sometimes I don't love WordPress. We could talk about that.
We always do.
You know, I think we're all in a really kind of interesting place in our relationship right now.
This is moving a little fast for me.
WordPress right now.
I'm just saying, you know, there's some growing pains in people sometimes, you know, grow at different rates.
And who are you, Jason?
I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me at Jason Tucker on Twitter. My website's jasontucker.blog. And I do it. We just did our 100th episode of WP Blab yesterday. It was awesome. We had a whole bunch of people come on the show and hang out and talk with us live, and it was a blast. We had a good time over there.
It seems like just the other day it was episode like 98, 97. Wow.
It's weird how that happens.
We're on, what is this, 57, 257?
271.
271.
We can't know. It's not written on any boards behind you.
271. Yeah, I'm boardless. I have no anchor right now.
So are you saying
you're not bored? You're interested. You're not bored.
I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily. No, there's a lack of bored.
I think she was BOARD less.
Not to be confused with BROAD.
Or BORED.
Or BOORED. Those are all.
Those are all ways to spell bored.
Wow, we have
the next episode of Scrabble Challenge Live.
Steve, can you tell us what the definition of bored is?
No.
Well, I'm waving a board around here. So.
Wow.
Wait, now what does bored mean?
I'm just going to apologize now.
Well, I'm here, so generally those go together, don't they? It's like a peanut butter and jelly.
I have a question for you guys. So I was looking on Twitter yesterday, and a couple folks were talking about micro.blog, and I wanted to see if you guys knew much about it and what people were actually doing with it.
You know what they say about people with microblogs?
Big shoes.
They've got really nice personalities.
They've got great hosting setup. That's all.
No,
I
was curious if you guys. I'm curious if you guys have looked into it at all or even heard anything about it. I've been playing around with a lot of the plugins that are built through the indie web stuff, being able to do web mentions and all that fun stuff. And so I was just curious if you guys have even looked at microblog or anything like that for
who has
for stuff.
time. There is so much stuff. Whoa, sorry. I apologize in advance.
Not only
Safe in the dogfight. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Not only have I looked at microblog, I actually kickstarted it.
Don't Google that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Tell me about it a little bit.
I think it's a fairly interesting concept in that it is kind of, while microblog is a centralized hosted service, that kind of acts slightly like a sort of cross between Twitter in small conversations and Tumblr in that it's, kind of centralized. Each person has their own blog you can follow, etc.
You know what I think? I think we just need more platforms. That'll solve all of our problems.
All the platforms.
Let's just make more effing platforms.
Well,
and then everyone could be further diluted.
I asked about it. The reason why I asked about it is because the folks that are on WordPress.com, like just have a blog on WordPress.com. There's a lot of these ways of tying in one blog to the next. So for instance, there's a feature in there where you can do a star. So you can essentially say like this person starred this particular post. And if you're logged into your WordPress.com account, that star will then say that, hey, this person liked this post, and it's your account recognizing another account's, thing, which kind of takes me back to like the days of dating. The days of like livejournal.com and those sorts of things where like you could do those sorts of things, or even like Blogger, or like, I don't know, it just seems interesting to see that they have, their own client, their own, kind of pieces of software that's, running on various clients on various different types of computers and stuff, and just how you can kind of interact with each other all using that one network.
So one of the interesting things about the microblog platform / registration process is when you register, they basically, you can host there. It's almost like the kind of WordPress.com, to use that analogy of this concept, but effectively you can give it a RSS or JSON feed if you're running your own blog, and import your blog post. Basically, you publish a new blog post on your site, and it'll publish to the microblog platform if you want.
What would be the advantage to that? Why would you want it to be, if you're blogging on your own site, what would the benefit be of having it also post on the micro.blog? Is it like a medium type thing where it's like everyone's reading it there?
Kind of, yeah. Basically, it's a platform to encourage people who are into the whole like indie publishing idea to kind of cluster and congregate together.
Indie publishing idea. I like how you said like that. Like that thing.
That whole thing.
It's like a network. A blog network.
Effectively,
so it's like
yes.
Back in the day, remember at the bottom of websites when you would have the Ring of Fire, or like the Ring of. I was kind of into paganism back then, so there was a lot of like Ring of Witches.
Just dabbling,
Witch or woman.
Well, you got to do your research. So is it like that? Is that? Just more features.
Yeah, it doesn't have next and
all about witchcraft. It's exactly like that.
It is all about witchcraft. They spend a lot of time. I hope that someone who is into micro.blog and everything around that is listening right now and just
I know, me too.
Screaming.
I mean, people talking about things they don't know anything about can be really useful for focus groups.
Absolutely.
Like, wow, we are a misunderstood service.
Yeah.
So, does that connect? Would this be built? Oh, there's a squirrel. That's what the dog problem is, in case anyone's wondering. There they go again.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Say, you're awesome. So he's like, I'm not the one that's derailing the whole show. It's my dogs.
Honestly, the thing that has me most interested about microblog or micro.blog specifically is that they don't have passwords. Whenever you want to log in, they just email you a custom link, which, I mean, anyone familiar with Slack knows how the flow goes. It just simplifies it because they don't even have the option to enter a password, which I heard some discussion about Core seeing about maybe trying at some point as well. But honestly, it just means that if your email is compromised, everything else gets compromised. But honestly,
that's what I was going to say.
But that's already the status quo because anyone could just reset your password via email anyway.
Did you guys see that thing about the dots in Gmail passwords and how that can be used to like commandeer like Netflix passwords and things like that if you don't see it? I mean, I don't know how anyone thinks email logins without a password, without the two-factor is more stable. Or
the thing that has me really excited about Gmail is they're rolling out new features where you can send secure mail, where you can require that someone be using two-factor authentication on their Gmail account and then re-authenticate with the second factor to see the contents of that email. What I'd like to see, and I'm going to be looking into the technical details of it, is if like WordPress core, when it sends out password reset emails, if it can add some header to the email to flag that, to require them, if they use two-factor, to actually provide that. So if someone swipes your phone, couldn't just open it up and reset your email without you realizing it.
That's great.
Now you're talking, George. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's feasible with how Gmail is doing the implementation of it, but I mean, if it's just a header, that should be duplicatable.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, email sucks, man. Email is like the most basic, nothing special, no security. I mean, we put all these like little secured things up on the web server, I mean, on the mail servers and stuff, but outside of that, it's pretty much plain text just flying over the
Gmail is iterating on that a lot. They're doing some stuff with like time deleting messages, like you only see this message until this time and date, or self-destructing messages, and basically they do it in that you can still use like IMAP and POP3 and whatever to get the messages, but if you're not using the Gmail client, then it'll just give you a link to a place you need to go to access a message until it goes away.
It's not email, it's Gmail.
Yes. Where the G is for greatness. Make email Gmail again.
Oh, shut up, George.
I'm a horrible human being. I accept this.
That is not true, and I will not accept any of that self-deprecation talk. No.
Going back to this passwordless login system, I'm interested in this a little bit because of the fact that
just a little.
You have to have just a little bit because the idea of having
Steve's not at all.
The email login. Steve's like, I just use password 123 and I make sure I put a capital somewhere in there and
I add the 123. That's way too much to type.
But I'm curious about this because having a login system that doesn't require you to have a password, but requires you to be able to check your email and click on a link to get you in. Like how I guess like the thing is that being able to figure out if the person is actually the correct person clicking on that link, that's the tricky piece there.
You guys, aren't we all just logging in with our faces in the future anyway? We're just gonna be like, right? Just face login. Did you guys hear about the police who went to a morgue to attempt to open a phone with someone's dead hand?
Oh gosh.
That's real. That happened.
Oh, I believe it. I'm just face palming because you're logging in. Happening.
You know,
that's how we should all log in. We should face palm. We should have a little sensor right here, and we just go like this.
Just watch Face Off again because that's a documentary now.
So, firstly, if you're using faces instead of fingerprints, there have been a number of studies showing that can be an incredibly racially biased authentication method because there are a lot of because the way they build it often cannot distinguish based on close relatives or other ethnicities.
White people built it. That's
basically, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because white people.
White people be engineering. That's.
But this was also a problem with photography as well. Then too, you know, being able to have photography where the actual inks and whatnot that are being used to develop them weren't weren't made just for non-white people.
So
microblogs.
Oh, moving on from that topic.
Thank you.
Well,
Microblogging. I will say one thing that's interesting about it. Using photos as a tangent, they do have a couple apps that they've been releasing with micro.blog. They have a photos app that is somewhat similar to Instagram, not necessarily as cluttered and algorithmic timeline, but just an app where snap a photo, post it, make it very easy, just like a single serving sort of app. And they also have an app now that you can basically record like short podcasts and post them very similarly. So I don't know. I think that that's an interesting little bit of functionality that they're breaking out. Here are some things that you can do on the platform and not necessarily have like this monolithic app that does all the things, but just
basically it's post formats.
Yes,
they actually use post formats explicitly. I was looking at the website earlier, and if you go into the help subsite, there's details. You can just even run it off your own self-hosted WordPress, and then it links in via like the RSS feed. So yeah.
I think at this point, everyone's. What should I definitely do?
You should definitely look at. You should definitely look at the IndieWeb stuff. IndieWeb has been doing. I mean, this kind of ties in all these pieces by using stuff like Bridgie, which is a service that detects what's going on in social media and then making sure that those mentions show up as comments on your site. I mean, there's all these different pieces that kind of tie all this together, and it's very CMS agnostic. It works with pretty much all the top ones that are out there that you can kind of play around with and see how it works.
I think at this point, everyone is just trying to build a better Facebook. Does that feel like what everyone's trying to do? Is like from Medium to everyone's is like, let's just be the one place where everyone is.
Yeah, I would welcome that, as long as the thing that I'm building talks to the thing that you're building, and that we're able to, communicate as a network versus, this one Facebook network, and that's it.
I would welcome fewer Facebooks, if at all possible.
Me too.
Fewer.
Okay, hey, as long as we're not getting onto GNU Social or some federated.
No.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Oh, Vero.
Way too confusing. I'm sorry.
Right. But I mean, like, isn't that kind of what the microblog site is kind of doing? I mean, people with the delete Facebook thing, people are, I believe, rightfully so, looking for an alternative to Facebook. But really, isn't the alternative to Facebook just everyone's websites and like something that ties them together?
You mean like RSS?
Well, if it's not broke.
Can something that ties them together perhaps be microblog?
That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't that kind of what this is? Sort of like this hub of all of these blogs, whatever feed format they're coming in. I mean, that's essentially what Facebook is, right? We're all using it to share little micro blogs, like little posts, little statuses, little doodads or whatever. And that could be done just easily on a blog format as it could be on a Facebook format, if not easier. I mean, we wouldn't have those amazing background graphics.
Hey, should we go for one of the $100,000 funding rounds to build a competitor to Facebook now?
Yeah, let's do that. $100,000 will get us real far.
I was thinking the same thing.
But that gets them a whole 6% stake in your company.
I'm like, geez, $100,000. Don't tease me. You can almost have my soul for that. No, you really can't. You can't at all. It's not for sale. We can't have it. Nobody can.
So no matter what, there has to be something in the middle of this hub spoke setup that needs to happen. And who is it going to be that is going to be the one that kind of ties all these pieces together?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is that what microblog is? Because I haven't done that research, but you have. So tell me.
Well, yeah. I mean, one for instance would be, that you have something like Jetpack that exists that runs on a WordPress site. That thing then talks to WordPress.com. And if I wanted to star one of your posts on my website, on your website, and you're running Jetpack and you have the favorite feature thing on there and you click on it, it goes to jetpack.com and says, hey, tell WordPress.com that, you know, I favorited this thing. And then the circle of life happens. And now everything knows that you like that thing.
On some level, you can right now already with like Jetpack, with the comments module and likes and everything in Jetpack. You can just go through the WordPress.com reader and like and comment on stuff from the WordPress.com interface, and then those comments and likes and everything will happen on the actual website.
That is not platform agnostic at all.
I was going to say the problem with that, no offense, George, is it's a single point of failure. And the indie web, something that I think is pretty exciting about it is the fact that you want to have your own self-hosted reader, you can do that. You want to have a way to basically track these sites independently. You can. You don't necessarily need microblog to do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even on WordPress, I mean, even on WPwatercooler site, we've been using the Bridgie app with web mentions, and when anytime somebody mentions anything on the site, a new comment shows up on the website saying this person, you know, talked about your thing on Twitter or on Facebook, or, you know, events that are happening. This person's going to this event, and all those things just happen. And all I had to do was just make sure that web mentions were set up talking to this tool called Bridgie to make that all happen.
So that's kind of similar to how pingbacks already are.
I was going to say, you played with web mentions. Isn't this just a less crappy pingback?
It's a way less crappy pingback.
We're not reinventing the wheel here. This is just like, you know, here's a fancier wheel, and you know,
I mean, we're delighted with less crappy. Let's go with less crappy.
We are. We totally are.
I think one of the biggest cross-platform problems is actually sharing. You know, for example, like on Instagram, you've got a whole separate app to repost things on Instagram. There's a lot of screenshots of Twitter that get posted on Instagram, and none of that is being tracked or linked in the dark social analytics or whatever that's called. And I think that that's a big part of the problem. Even sharing a post from you can actually do that with WordPress, right? You can share the link of the post and it provides the little excerpt. That was like years ago. Yeah. So like that's why WordPress is so cool, because of that. Like, it's trying to be cross-platform. It's trying to open up that content so it can get shared, because I think that's the main thing that everyone's kind of missing within the world outside of Facebook, is a cohesive way of sharing that data. You know, it gets really difficult to share across platform. And so if someone's not on Twitter, they're just, you know, not seeing that, or they're seeing weird screenshots of Twitter and they probably don't even know that those are Twitter screenshots on Instagram. But like, they don't, you know, and there's no way to get your Instagram, and literally you're taking screenshots of your phone and then, you know, cropping out the stuff, or like, you know, on Instagram, everyone's just scraping out their backgrounds. And it's like, it's so rudimentary feeling. It's so like hacked together with duct tape and, you know, PVC piping. That's what it feels like to me.
Say, dank memes find a way.
Hey, just wait until you see someone do a screencast video of a tweet with a GIF in it.
Ooh.
You mean a GIF? You mean a GIF?
No,
I mean, they really wanted to, you meant a GIF.
No, I mean, I just about the peanut butter.
Yeah. A screen capture of peanut butter. My favorite. Sorry, I got derailed there with nuance.
It never happens.
A couple times, maybe.
Derailed on this show? No.
No, but so really though, about the sharing, like there's, you know, even within WordPress, you know, even WordPress.com with its likes and its comments and its own network content, it's closed. It's a closed network. And Facebook is a closed network, and Instagram is a closed network. And, you know, everyone wants a closed network, right? So that they can, you know, keep all the people there and keep all the monies there. But I mean, heck, even Zuckerberg said information wants to be free, right? Wasn't that him? I can't believe I just quoted Mark Zuckerberg.
I think that was Abe Lincoln, or maybe
it was Abe
Mark
Lincoln.
Twain.
That was on his
Not
microblog. Lincoln did that on his microblog.
Someone said it. Or maybe it just does want to be free. Maybe that's just a thing. I don't know. But
Stuart Brand, who said,
there you go.
on the one hand, information wants to be expensive because it's so valuable. The right information in the right place changes your life. On the other hand, information wants to be free because the cost of getting it out is lower and lower all the time. So you have these two fighting against each other.
Yeah, but that just talks about cost, right? Like, I don't necessarily think that people are always, I mean, obviously business people
this
are.
is talking about at free as in beer, not free as in speech.
Yeah, free as in like, well, and I don't even mean like free speech. I mean like free, like no borders. free like freedom of movement.
We already have no borders. Say they went out of business a couple of years ago. Remember?
I do. I totally got their shelves. I totally remember that happening. But yeah, no borders. I mean, that's the type of information that I'm talking about. Not money and not, you know, the right to say something, which are both versions of free. We have a really shoddy language sometimes.
Sometimes
I'm going to use the same word for all these different concepts, but that's what I'm talking about. Freedom of movement, freedom of what WordPress has, which is freedom of data to move your data, to port your data around. And that's how I feel that information wants to be free. You know what I mean? It wants to be told. People want to share something that's on Twitter on, you know, their Instagram or whatever it is. And WordPress, in my mind, really is one of the very few platforms that has allowed for that to happen with all of the O embeds. I mean, Facebook is going in the other direction where you embed a YouTube video and it's not even playing anymore. Now it's like a link to the YouTube video. You know, it's like they're going so far in the other direction to not allow that.
I think the thing about that you were talking about earlier with the screenshots thing is that screenshots last forever, and an O embed only lasts as long as that service is around, and only lasts as long as the person as long as they don't delete that content. So
That's
if you
true.
have that problem,
are you filing your nails, George? What are you doing?
I'm making stuff.
Okay, go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
He's making his pitchfork. Come on.
But you were saying that O embed only lasts.
Yeah, O embed only lasts as long as that content, you know, is still available, which is also the same thing with Twitter. So if you go and like retweet somebody's tweet and then they go and delete it, same problem happens.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
by making a screenshot, you can at least make that happen. Which I wouldn't mind seeing something with O embed do a screenshot of a tweet and then make that as a fallback.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. Jetpack.
George, you got 5 minutes. Make it happen.
George, go.
Go away.
Hey, Steve, do you have anything you want to say? Do you have any feelings you want to share?
I have lots of feelings. I just don't want to share them.
Now it's time for final thought.
Well, I have a final thought. There's a seemingly last minute push to celebrate WordPress's 15th anniversary, which
Not last minute.
No. Oh, no. The WordPress, like I just saw it from WordPress. The WordPress.org saying, oh, by the way, because 5 years ago, we all did the 10-year anniversary, and it's a huge thing. And, you know, everyone was really I think it was maybe the height of the community. Maybe we peaked. I don't know. But it seems like, I think it's just funny that everyone's like, oh yeah, we're 15. I feel like we're all just busy. Everyone's companies have grown. Like WordPress is in such a different place than it was 5 years ago.
And we'll celebrate when it turns 20.
Yeah, like it's like, man, whatever. 15 is not a big deal. You can't even drive. Like, who cares?
You can get its learner's permit.
Not even for 6 more months. You know what I mean? That's what we should celebrate, when WordPress can get its learner's permit. We can. That's the party I'm having.
That's funny.
Actually, this is its quinceanera.
There you go.
I just realized.
Let's throw a quinceanera.
I get to buy a pretty dress. Yes.
All right. Anyway,
can you believe we made it through that? I don't know. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Everybody go sign up for a microblog. Go play with it. Check out some stuff.
Go play with your microblog.
That's how I'm spending my weekend.
I'll talk to y'all later. You have a good one. Go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com/subscribe, where you can subscribe to this content as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.